I should put in there, I just want a relationship. I thought he was on ban. No, you're not banned anymore. Thank you, Stephanie. Yeah, you are good. The only thing I just gotta do now is change my password. Yeah. So, ask questions. Because you deserved it. Because you deserve it. You don't deserve to be here on my channel. No, I don't want to be friends. No. I'm not coming to your wedding. I am not going to be happy. Why did I close that? Until me and you work things out, we could talk about being in a relationship. I'm not going to find anybody else. I promise you that. No. He's not going to have the same color hair. He's not going to have the same color eyes. So my heart is telling me to be with you. I'm telling you the truth. I'm a very picky person. If I found another guy that's not going to be the same as you, yeah, like who? Yeah, we'll see how that goes. And then he can tell you how I was. And trust me, I will show you how I am. And I just got you. Yeah, okay. I never liked Brandon. I never liked him. I promise you. Fuck. Well, it doesn't matter if he liked me or whatnot, but I don't like him. But I only like you, Matthew. Because we can start out to be friends, and then after we be friends, we could talk about being in a relationship again. I told you this. This is my 50th time saying this. No. Nope. We could be friends, And after that, and once I move out of here, we could talk about being in a relationship. Nope. Nope. Not gonna happen. Unless, and I've said this multiple times, we could be friends as long as I move out, we could talk about being in a relationship. I'm not taking nobody else but you. Unless you have the money to fly me out to Korea. I told you, I'm very picky with guys. I have changed a lot. I'm not looking at anybody else like I used to. Ever since you came into my life, that blonde hair and the blue eyes changed my life and my identity. Well, not my identity, but how can I word it? Well, then, if you say those people ain't real, then there's no reason to. That I will vouch on. So, after I move out of here, yeah, don't you think I'm aware of that? And I almost got swallowed. Oh yeah, I have to get in there. So yeah, if you say okay, maybe, that means you're thinking about it. But until then, we could be friends, but after friendship, we could talk about being in a relationship again. That's a way of me looking at it. Fuck. This part's hard. Oops. Huh, well, that's good. That was a good grab. Used to make come their way. Oh yeah. Forgot to go small. With you, nobody else. That's what I mean. After me and you be friends for a while, then we could talk about being in a relationship. Because you should be. And if you didn't know, in my previous live stream the other day, where I almost, well, I can't say I almost drove into a light post, but I got my permit, and I'm also getting my license on Wednesday. I'm achieving all these goals. So, and I'm buying a really expensive car. Well, thanks. You should be happy, but only if you was here with me. You could have seen me drove it around the parking lot where the light post was, where almost had a freaking accident. And guess what? You could be entitled too. Well, after we be friends for a while, then we'll talk about being in a relationship. But I'm only staying here until I get my vehicle. I'm not staying here forever. Why should I say I'm happy for you? I mean, I'm not happy. Or do you just want me to play along and say that I am happy for you? Because with me being alone like this, I feel like crying right now. I mean, yeah, I'm happy for you and all, but if you marry her and things don't work out, you know, and I know this from experience. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. How do I pause it? You know the divorce papers, right? They're not cheap. Once you marry her and things decided not to work out between you guys are have to sign the divorce papers. You know that, right? And trust me. What the hell? I just fell in the freaking cage. I'm talking about you. Hey, babies. Well, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You have to go to the courthouse and get a divorce papers. Because I don't know why you're wasting your time with her and your breath. Well, yeah. What the- I'm about to say goodbye to these rats sooner or later. Well, I may or may not keep them depending on what apartment I'm getting. So I'm sitting here thinking, yeah, but I'm getting the Mill Creek apartments or the hammocks because the Mill Creek apartments that I toured them multiple times, they're really nice. And I'd wish she was with me when I was touring them. It's not, the landlord doesn't have the problem with them, but the manager does. I'm not taking nobody else in my life. I promise myself this. That I'm saying this to myself, so don't mind. I did make a promise to myself that I'd take Matt back. That's just me saying that. I don't care what everybody else says. I listen to my heart, not my brain anymore. And I want to make Matthew happy again. I'm not miserable anymore. Well, I'm planning on doing all these adventures with you now that I finally get my license. And I finally get to take you places without getting rides or, without relying on other people. And matter of fact, I could teach you how to drive. But you just gotta watch me how to drive. Okay, well, if she went to bed, she went to bed. Can't really blame her. Since I don't have to work tomorrow, I got things I gotta do. So I'm gonna start looking into housing. And I gotta give those landlords a call back. So I can live stream the one apartment. The landlord doesn't mind me doing that, so well, I'd wish you would never say anything, but I can always buy you new ones. They're replaceable. I mean, if you don't want me to, then I won't buy them. But the only thing, well, I don't know how to work things anymore, so I'm losing my train of thoughts. hate this job. I know I was rough with the toy, but I learned my lesson from that. I'm gonna say both of us learned our lesson from it. Come on, at least I am a pretty girl. Still. I just don't like it when people come in and out of my life like that. You know, first they like me, then they don't like me. You know, I just think it's wrong. The truth is, I never stop loving you. I'm always thinking about you. Even though we had our moments and arguments, couples fight, so what? But I'm gonna start taking matters into my own hands from now on. And trust me, when I take things in my own hands, I mean, I really do mean it, so. That's why I named my other live stream before taking things in my own hands. From whenever I was looking up the apartments, I was taking things into my own hands, and you guys were like, "Where are you taking in your own hands?" All right, and that's fine. Do what you need to do. You may do what you must, and I know. You can't come back to Anna's. But I'm going to give her a 30-day notice after I get my vehicle. But I got to figure out how am I going to buy a vehicle because, one, I got to be careful who I rent the car from anyway. And for two, I got to figure out what car dealership, or even if there is one here in Erie. And for three, it's going to take up, I have to save up a lot of money, but I got to get my license first. So Wednesday's around the corner, which I'll be paying about $400 for 2-hour driving. And once I have that experience, then I have to start saving up for a car. Because today's the 3rd, tomorrow's the 4th. And then that'll be the time I'll be looking into apartments. Where do you go? But I don't know if you can tell by me, I'm not eating a lot like I used to. Oh, well, yeah, I'll tell her that too. I mean, she hasn't been here, so the only time I would see her if I have to go shopping. And I gotta figure out what I'm doing this week. So this Wednesday, I'm not going anywhere with my staff. I know my friend from work is working 70 hours this week. So no more driving lessons for that. I know I don't go back to work until Friday, so which is that's a mess up part. Yeah, I just got a lot of figuring out to do because I know I gotta let my staff know that I'm not ready to be up at Transportation Solutions yet because I just started driving. And for two, I'm just getting to learn how to use the car. So yeah, it's just I got a lot of figuring out to do. That's all. Ever since we broke up, I just haven't been myself lately. But working, coming home, not hanging out with anybody. Okay. And I just been saving up money too. Heck, I can be not a bad person, but I'm a good person. But I just gotta give Anna a 30-day notice when I get this vehicle. And speaking of that, I gotta look for apartments too. I gotta call the Mill Creek one back. Hammocks one back. You about to jump up. Yeah, I think the Hammocks apartment will be much nicer than the Mill Creek ones. I'm not gonna lie to you. Because let me tell you something about them. The Mill Creek ones, they're okay. But they're a lot more expensive. Okay, if you plan on moving, how you planning on returning here to PA? If you live, let's say, in New York, how you plan on getting back? If things doesn't work out between you. I wouldn't waste my time and breath, on a trip. I mean, well, okay, well then if you don't know, then I wouldn't know. I'm starting to think that you really want to be with her because I mean that's what I'm thinking because I can't afford flights because I know plane tickets are not cheap. And if things doesn't work out between you and Jessica and the child, then let's say if I get an apartment, right? I'm gonna be stuck paying bills, paying the rent. Well, yeah, I know that, but that's not what I was getting to. You silly. What I was trying to get at is that once I have this vehicle, I have to pay car payments, maintenance, get tires, snow tires. I don't want to be stuck. in the snow like how I was before. I had to push Anna's car off of the sheet of ice with all my might and all my strength. It took me, Dylan, Dallas, and everybody else to push Anna's car off of that sheet of ice. So yeah, I don't want to be like that. Just so you know. But I just have to get a car that has like all season tires. But what I'm trying to get at with you is that if things doesn't work out between you two and a baby, just come back here. Well, not come back to this house, but once I get this apartment, feel free to come to my apartment. I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to kick you out. All I have to do is get in touch with the landlord and say, hey, my friend's here. I'd like to put him on a lease. Simple as that. Shit, what am I doing next Wednesday? Next Wednesday, I gotta file my taxes with H&R Block. That's something I gotta do automatically. Where'd you go? Come here. What are you doing? But yeah. So I would recommend keeping all this in the back of your mind, but not say nothing. So just hush it and don't say anything. All you gotta do. But we'll just take it one step at a time. Baby steps. Like my dad said, the driving takes time and practice takes time. So practice makes perfect. Yeah, but the thing of it is, we can still be friends, but I need you to think about everything else before taking the next step, because you got your job, you got priorities, you got to think about all of this. If you want to come back to PA but not back to this house but to where I'm living, but I cannot give my address out here online because I don't want other people showing up. So that's what I'm trying to get through to you right now is if things doesn't work out and all of a sudden you get stranded in New York, how you going to, well, that's good, but how you plan on returning back here to PA? That's the question I was asking you. Ow. Alright, you need to go back in your cage. You're getting too wrought up. Alright, well then. Alright, well. Alright, well then just wait until it happens. I mean, what I would do is not saying to be like me though, but if you're just not feeling it, or I don't know how to say this to you. I can't tell you what to say. I don't control people's minds. I cannot tell them what to do. But if you guys fight way too much and you guys argue way too much, just come back to the state of Pennsylvania, but don't come back here. I cannot give my address out online, but you can reach out to me on Facebook and I could just give you my address on Facebook. Because like I said, I'm not paying for flights. Flights are not cheap. So I would recommend keeping this idea in the back of your head. Because I'm not ugly and I'm the most prettiest girl in the world. Well, that's good that you don't really fight, but if you guys have like disagreements and all that, and let's say it does get to that point where you just want to like end it with her, then I would just, again, I'm not telling you what to do, but either you could break it off with her or just wait till you get to New York and then do whatever. Because I know you can't be homeless and well then if you guys stay together for a long time then I'm not going to want to be friends. Well, I'm not waiting until the age of 65 just to get back together with you. I'm going to be 33 in like 4 months. And I do want you back in my life, you know. No, I don't want to be friends. I want to get sick and tired of being friends. That's what I'm going to get sick of. I'm going to be sick and tired of being friends, and then all of a sudden, you know, I'm going to get to that point where I just want to be in a relationship. I mean, I'm not going to be in this house for long. I promise you that. I'm not waiting until I'm like close to the close to the age of 65 just to be in a relationship. Well, do you even know how long it's going to be? Well, do you know how long it's going to be for somebody to go into college? It takes years for someone to go into college because they have to go through like kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade. You know what I mean? They have to go through like, kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, sixth grade, seventh grade, eighth grade, ninth grade. You know, your kid has to go all the way up to 12th grade, right? And graduate. That's going to take years. And I promise you that. And then who knows what's going to happen to me? I may not be around anymore. That's fine. If you want to wait that long, then I will not be able to have my rats anymore. Well, if the baby's due in August, then depending on the date when she gives birth, like I was born June 2nd, 1993. That's when my mom had me. She had me on June 2nd, 1993. That's the day and date I was born. I don't know what to say. Don't turn the floor over to me. I'm the one that wants to be with you. And every time I talk to her, then she's gonna be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," yada yada yada. I don't know what to say to her. I'm not gonna talk to the person who I don't know. And just to be honest, because I'm tired. The reason why I'm talking to you about this is because I'm picky with men. So I wouldn't wake her up then. Because if she finds out that you're talking to me, then she's gonna get mad at you and then probably she will not let you talk to me ever again. Because if you want to have a backup plan, if things doesn't work out between you guys and your kid, then you need to have some kind of backup plan because if you get stranded in New York or somewhere where you're going to be, how are you going to make it back here to PA? That's a that's a gap right there. You have to have some kind of a backup plan. I mean, I'm getting older and I'd rather be married. I should have been married towards you. I don't care what my dad says, even though we don't talk very much. And I'd rather get out of here because things are happening. I'm not gonna say nothing to her. That's all I got. That's all I have to. That's all I have to say. I mean, I can be. I could be. You know, not reasonable, but I'd rather be sneaky. If I was in your shoes, I'd rather be sneaky as heck, so she doesn't find out. I mean, I wouldn't go. Well, I don't. Then I guess you're stuck because if like you said, if things doesn't work between you guys and the kid, then I guess you're stuck. You said so she won't lose her checks. Well, I don't know what to say to you now. I just don't want to be friends. I mean, we could be friends until things doesn't work out between you guys, but I mean, like I said, marriage doesn't last forever. Well then, I strongly suggest if I was in Jessica's shoes, she needs to get on SSI then, so she doesn't lose her checks. I mean, well, yeah, that's true, but I would be gladly if me and you was engaged again because I was the one who proposed to you. So this is a lot to think about. Okay, well then that's fine. All right. Well, like I said, I'm gonna make things work. Like I said, I'm the one that's really pushing myself out of this house and not come back. So, and I know you don't have a choice right now, but if you fly out to New York and get a job out there, and like I said, if things doesn't work out between you guys, you can always fall back on me. And I'll be the one who teaches you how to drive. And think about it. Me and you both will have the vehicle. Yeah, I know that, but I just didn't want to waste of a walk and then have you slam the door on my face. Well, like I said, I know you say you don't have a choice right now, but like I said, I got an appointment with H&R Block. I gotta go file my taxes on that day, so I'll be, who knows how much I will get back. So as you can see, well, yeah, because I didn't know where to go that night. I didn't know what way your friend was living. I know it was rodeo, but I had work that day or that night. I meant to say. If you chose a day where I didn't have work, then yes, I would have came. But I had work that night. What? But again, this is something for you to think about. And if it doesn't work out, just, I'm throwing it out there. All right. Let me get myself dressed then. I may have to switch to a different live stream. Or I could just give you my phone number and you could just give me the address. Okay, well then I don't want no yelling and screaming or whatever. and I don't want to be bitched at, so all right, I'm gonna switch to a different live stream.